I wanted to make a quick video on how to install the latest version of Python in a Windows environment. So what you're going to want to do is just head over to your local browser. You're going to want to type in python.org. You're going to want to go to the downloads. Then what you're going to want to do, the latest version is 3.9. So what you're going to want to do is double click. You're going to want to save the file. It downloads pretty quick. So then what you're going to want to do is go over to your File Explorer, go to Downloads, click on Python, and what you make sure you check this box down here, especially if this is your first time installing Python. What this does, this adds it to your environmental variables so you can run it throughout your Windows system. So then what you're going to want to do is just click Install Now. Yes. And it will take a couple minutes to install. So after that is installed, what you're going to want to do is just close the program. You're going to want to head over to your command line, type in cmd, and then just to make sure that Python is installed, you're going to want to just type Python. And as you can see, it's just going to show you Python 3.9 is installed. That means it's working. If you wanted to just test it, you can just print a hello statement. And as you can see, the interpreter is working. One thing I kind of don't like is there's no real GUI for the actual Python itself. So if you wanted something a little bit better, it actually uses quite a bit. You're going to want to head over to VS Code. I know there's other ones out there, Sublime Text and PyCharm, but I actually like this Visual Studio the best. So if you're a Python user, all you're going to want to do is just click on the, go over to the VS Code, go to the website, click on Download for Windows. It downloads also relatively pretty quick. As you can see, once you see it installed, what you're going to want to do is just go over to your downloads section again, double click. Accept agreement. This is going to be the location where it is located. And I actually want to add a desk icon for this. I also want to add this to the Explore directory in the file contacts. Make sure this is also checked. This is very important, just like I showed you on Python. This enables you to install it from, run VS Code from various areas in your Windows machine. So if you wanted to launch this application, what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to install IntelliSense. So, oh, it came right up. Okay. So essentially what this does, this is so important. And this is why you actually want to install like a VS Code. Essentially what it does is when you're typing, you're gonna install, obviously. It enables like the finished code. It finishes your portion of code with options, right? And that's called IntelliSense, right? Essentially, you won't find that on your regular Python installation. like if you go back there and you go like go to the Python and you go like import, it really doesn't finish out anything for you, right? So if you don't know what comes next, sometimes this is challenging, especially in an IDE like this Python. Um, so the Python should be installed though. So let's just make sure this is installed. New file. So I'll kind of give you an idea of um, how this is much better. So what you're going to want to do is just go to desktop, create a folder, test code, right? You're going to want to go into test code and just basic function. Function.py. I want to make sure this extension is a Python extension. Okay. Then you're going to want to save. So if you wanted to write just a basic function to make sure this is working, so this is just the basics of a function, just print out hello. And then what you want to do is just call that function. And there's no parameters in it. What I mean by calling is you're just going to call on this function. So you created this function, and then what you're going to want to do is call this. So then what you're going to want to do is control save. Okay. Then you're going to want to go to the terminal. And you can go to CD is change directory, right? So if you go to this test code, go down to properties, what I'm doing, I'm grabbing the username stuff, the file path. So what this does is you don't gotta like type it out. So you just hit enter, and then your terminal now is in that directory. So you can do ls to check on the files within this test code folder. So if you want to run a Python from the terminal within this VS Code, you just go like this. And as you can see, it printed hello. So why I prefer VS Code with IntelliSense, do you see this right here? This is so helpful, especially when you're a beginner coder, you've had years of experience. It kind of gives you a general sense of like what to do, which is very helpful in Python. You know, IntelliSense makes coding a lot easier. So this is my video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. I'll have more videos coming out shortly. Thank you.